Well, hello, and welcome to our world. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. Welcome to Black Entrepreneurs Institute Live. Nicole, how are you doing today?
I am great. No complaints.
Well, that's good because I don't take complaints on Tuesday.
I remember that.
And just so the audience know, if it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't take complaints on those days either. So, um, but I'm excited to be here with you tonight, Nicole. We're going to have a really good show. Our show is going to be a little bit different tonight, but I want you to sit back, I want you to relax, and I want you to enjoy the show. So I am one of your co-founders, Cedric, the hardest working man in radio, LaFleur, and we
Right, that made me laugh.
and we have with you Dr. Nicole. She loved the kids ranking.
That's it.
So hey folks, we were going to have a guest tonight, but our guest is sick and it can't make the show. So Dr. Nicole and I are going to still give you a great show. Now, our cohorts, and you need to mess with them. Our cohorts, Angela Hooper Minifield and Damian Johnson, they're in Orlando over at Disney. They say they went to a conference.
They said they went to a conference. I don't know.
Yeah, you know they're at Disney right now.
I see Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and all of them.
Exactly. Exactly. So, there was this Baptist preacher, Nicole, that was going to preach at this revival, and he flew into town and he drove out to the place where they were going to have this big revival. He gets there and the parking lot's empty. So he's like, well, what's going on? So he says, well, maybe everybody's in the tent. Well, he goes to the tent. There's nobody there. Now he's starting to wonder, well, wait, do I have the right date? What's wrong? So he sits down in the first pew and he's sitting there just trying to think through this, and all of a sudden, this cowboy walks in, and he tells the cowboy, says, hey, I don't know where everybody is, but I have this sermon all ready to go, and I have no one to preach it to. So he asked the cowboy, so what do you think I should do? Well, the cowboy says, well, I'm not a preacher, so I can't tell you that, but I know this. If I was going to feed my cattle and only one showed up, I'd still at least feed that one. So the preacher said, you're absolutely right. He jumps up off the pew, Nicole, and he off the bench, and he runs into the pulpit and he starts to preach a sermon. Now, he got so into his sermon, he preached for an hour and a half to that one cowboy. All right. Now, so when he finally wrapped up, he goes and sits down next to the cowboy and he says, well, what do you think? Well, the cowboy looks at him and goes, well, I'm no preacher, and so I really can't tell you. I'm just a cowboy. But let me tell you this. If I went to feed my cattle and only one showed up, I'd feed it, but I wouldn't dump the whole sack on them. So now the moral of the story is you don't have to have a full room to deliver your message. You don't have to have a full room to make an impact. You just have to be very intentional. And this preacher was very intentional. And this is what we want to talk about tonight, Nicole, and to you as our audience with your business. We want to talk about you being intentional in your business. Now, Nicole, we teach a business boot camp all the time, right? Mm-hmm. And in this business boot camp, we help the boot campers understand how to be intentional in their business. Right now, let me help them out a little. See, being intentional in your business and being an intentional person means this: everything that you do is done with a clear purpose and a focus. See, when you become intentional, you focus your time, your energy, your efforts, all of your strengths and on your business, and you focus on the good things in life, and you don't let the fear hold you back. Right now, Nicole, let me tell you this, and then I'm gonna let you say something here. I want to share with you these 4 traits of highly intentional people, but I want our audience, I want you to write them down. 4 traits of highly intentional people. The first one is they say no. They say no to things that are not in their purpose, that doesn't match up with what they want to focus on. The second thing is they know how to slow down. Now, Nicole, now you notice I said slow down, not stop.
Yes.
Yeah, not stop, right? Some people, they just stop. No, intentional people slow down and then they speed right back on up and keep on going. The third thing is they focus on what they can control. And number 4 is they have a mindfulness practice about their business. Now, Dr. Nick, help our audience out here. Tell us how do you be intentional in your business?
Yeah, great question. I love, we are big on intentionality in the boot camp. We're big on keeping everybody focused. And I think for me, the 2 major things that I have to have when I'm intentional is the what and the why.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think about the what is it that I want? What is it that what is the goal? What is the desire? What do I really, really, really want? And get very clear on what is. You can't go to a destination without knowing where you're going. And a lot of times we spend so much time trying to figure out details and not having the clarity of knowing what it is that we're trying to do. So I think for me, the first thing is getting really, really clear on the what that I want, what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, what goals I want to go after. And then after understanding the what and getting clear on the what, now I get clear on my why. Why is it that I want to do that? What is it? How is it going to end up in the bigger pictures of the scheme of my business? And then, how is it going to align with the biggest purpose that I have for myself and my business? And once I have a clear understanding of the what, and once I have a clear understanding of the why, then I have become very intentional on the how. So that means every decision that I'm making, every choice that I'm making is intentional, and they're all in alignment with where I'm going. And that's how I really just stay focused, stay intentional, knowing the what, knowing the why, and making sure the decisions that I make are in alignment with those 2 things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely love that. So audience, tonight for you, Dr. Nick and I, we're going to carry the load while other people are, I'm not going to say any names, Dr. Nick, but, other people out there at Disney, they're at Disney having fun, riding rides, getting the easy pass.
I mean, at a conference.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. At a conference. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
So, what we want to do tonight, Dr. Nick, for our audience is we want to help you understand how to up level your business. And there are 5, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, but the first thing we're going to talk about these 5 essential parts of any business. All right. Now, audience, I need you to be ready to write these things down because we're going to go fast through these, but you need to write them down because if you want to be an effective business leader, you want to be intentional about your business, we're about to give you some good stuff right here. Right. The first thing is it's all about value creation. Right. And value creation is about assessing the attractiveness of markets, understanding what people want, how they evaluate value, and how to translate an idea into a viable offer. Now, that right there is the number 1 thing that you need to have to be intentional about in your business.
Absolutely. Value content is great. But then when you think about your prospects, the next thing has to be marketing. Once you understand the value, you got to be able to get to your prospects, right? And marketing is all about getting to your prospects' limited attention, right? By presenting your offer in a way that connects with them, in a way that they exist in their desire. You'll have to learn how to frame your offer, how to get and sustain your clients' interest, and really identify your ideal area of focus. It's really all about marketing once you get that value and understand your value.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so you get the value creation, you get the marketing going, and then you get the good stuff, the sales. That's where the money is, baby. Everything revolves around sales for an organization. So, a transaction is essentially an exchange of value, right? So you had to learn how to build mutual trust and common ground, set the right prices, structure the right proposals, and then address the barriers to purchase. That means you have to help a customer understand that they need this product and they need it from you.
Yeah, Absolutely, absolutely. So then the value creation, getting the marketing, understanding your prospects, and then having the sales, you want to make sure that your customers are satisfied, because happy customers are more likely to return and refer, not only return to you, but then they'll refer others, right? So you'll need to know how to identify ways to improve customer satisfaction along with the entire value chain. So you'll be able to duplicate and multiply your value delivery. So that is such a critical point of your business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so here's the thing, Nicole. Some people are out there in the audience right now. This is going to go over their head. All I want you to do, I just want you to write it down. Just think value creation, think marketing, think sales, then value delivery in your business, right? And when you do that, the finances start rolling in, and everybody understands finances, Nicole. Mucho dinero.
That's right. That's right.
Greenbacks, right? Any kind of name you want to call it, everybody knows it. Give me the Benjamin, dead presidents.
Where the money resides, where the money resides.
See, if you hear in your business, then you know it's good. But if you hear like ching, 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 you know, it's a hobby. So finance is all about knowing how the money flows in and out of your business. The finance is understanding how the money flows in and out of your business. So you need to decide how best to allocate those funds so that you don't just waste them.
That's right. That's
now,
right.
Nicole, when we think about upskilling a business and think about our boot campers, right? And we talk about these different components, right? And when we start a boot camp, but a lot of times you'll see not necessarily our boot campers, but business owners, small entrepreneurs procrastinating, right? And we both know that procrastination is the friend of failure. Folks, write it down for me. Put it in the comments. Procrastination is the friend of failure. In fact, I'm going to make sure that I type it in the comments as well. Procrastination, got to write it here, is the friend of failure. Nobody wants that in their business. Procrastination is the friend of failure. Make sure that you say it again. Make sure you say it every day so that you understand when you get ready to procrastinate, you understand what that means. You're saying, I want failure in my business. Procrastination is the friend of failure. So, Nicole, let's talk about some strategies to help people overcome procrastination. You want to share the first one with them?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's such an easy thing to get distracted and to say I'll put it off for the next day, or I'll put it off to the next day. And a lot of times in business, it's such a big vision that you have for your business of where you're wanting to go. And when you keep looking at it at the grander scale, the big vision, it gets overwhelming. It can get frustrating. You can get anxiety from it. But the great thing about tasks and things that you have to do, it's just easy to one thing, just break it down, right? Yeah. When tasks seem so big and insurmountable, we tend to procrastinate because they seem too big. Yeah. But psychologically, it's easier to just break those big tasks into smaller chunks, right? And so then once you complete just one, you feel energized, you feel motivated, and then you're ready to go to that next task because you can pat yourself on the back, say, yes, I did it, and use that motivation to keep you on to the next small task, and then the next, and then the next, until the job is completed. So breaking down in the big task into smaller tasks will help you conquer it bit by bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to remind you now, folks, procrastination is the friend of failure. And we don't want that in our business. Nicole said, hey, break things down into smaller tasks, right? The next thing I want to tell you to help you overcome procrastination is you got to apply pressure to yourself. See, I'm very good in this area right here, Nicole, right? I'm always applying pressure to myself because I'm always thinking, all right, what do I need to do next? I'm always giving myself these artificial deadlines that I set for myself. And I set them very aggressively, right? So that it continues to push me. And I'm always thinking, what's the next big thing I need to come out with? I need to produce. I need to provide to my audience. So applying pressure to yourself is about setting artificial deadlines. See, imagine you're leaving for a long holiday tomorrow, right? And you must finish these critical tasks today. Right? You put that timeline on yourself, or have it, you make it fun, right? Make it a game to see how fast or how far you can push yourself and beat your own records or your own deadlines, right? And you just write them down. And look, here's the thing. If you complete it sooner, all that means is you're making it available to your customer sooner. And all of it, remember we talked about finances? Finances start coming in, right? And when you do those things, whoo, man, I tell you what, it makes a big difference. So apply pressure to yourself.
Yeah, that right there is great. It's kind of like you psyching yourself out, right?
Yeah.
You break it down, apply pressure, and then really another thing that you want to do to maximize yourself and avoid procrastination is to really maximize your power and energy. And so what I mean by this, if you're feeling tired or sluggish, you got to push yourself further. And to do that, it's kind of like often walking through the sludge. It's like, oh, I got to motivate myself. And it can be hard. But really, when you analyze your energy levels and identify your peak periods, whether it's early in the morning or maybe it's at afternoon or maybe even late at night, understand what works for you and do the most important tasks that you have at these times. Like, I'm a night owl. I've always been that way. I don't know what it is, but at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, whoo, because that's where the juices are flowing and I'm writing. I'm like Jerry Maguire, show me the money. And because that's my peak time. And so it's
hey, we call that Dr. Nick after dark.
Absolutely, right? Because it's easier to overcome procrastination at your peak energy level times. And of course, there's nothing that beats developing good habits like eating well, getting your rest, exercising regularly to improve your physical, mental, and emotional conditions. But you want to analyze and understand what works for you, right? A lot of times you may think, okay, it might be early in the morning because you hear all the gurus, get up early, but that may not be your peak performance hours.
Exactly.
So know yourself, and it's having that ability to have that self-awareness of knowing who you are, what works for you, and then finding that and getting to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Nicole. And it's depending on the time of the year. Sometimes I am that late owl, and I'll be up, like that. But sometimes I'll get up. Hey, I'm gonna get up early this morning. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling young that day. And I get up and I start chopping it up, right?
Yeah.
So I absolutely love that. And I love what you said also. Don't just listen to everybody else saying you have to get up early. If that's not the time that you're going to be at peak performance, if it's going to be later in the day or late at night, that's really what they're telling you, right? Operate in your area of strength and whatever that is. Now, the other thing about helping yourself stop procrastinating. And again, I said procrastination is the friend of failure. You have to use pain and pleasure. Everybody likes a little pain. Everybody loves a lot of pleasure, right? So little pain and pleasure. Oh, wrong show. Sorry about that.
No. Oh, we're live. My
bad. In the book, Nicole, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins shares this simple but powerful rule. He says, we take action to avoid pain or to increase pleasure. The tips of what he's saying is you have to be willing to take action. You have to be willing to do something. But he says nothing at all beats finding the root of what's holding you back, right? So let's look at a few things, right? So here's what I'm going to give you a list, some things that you can do, right? List the actions that you've been procrastinating on. Why have you been procrastinating on those things? Just list them out, right? The next thing is create a list of why haven't I taken action? And what pain do I link this with, link with this action? You see, what that's going to do is that's going to help you really visualize. Once you visualize, then you can start putting plans in place. Then what I want you to do is list the pleasure, that word again, list the pleasure you've previously had by indulging in these undesired behaviors. For example, instant gratification. Okay, right? Then write down the future costs. Now, this is good. This is good right here. Write down the future costs if you don't take action. In other words, what is going to cost you because you're not taking action? Now, let's say it's for exercise and diet or whatever. It could be a heart attack, could be obesity, it could be relationship, it could be self-esteem. Write down those things of what it's going to cost you if you continue to not taking actions. And then write down a big list of benefits for taking action right now. Make it emotional. I want you to hear me. Oh, I'm gonna do like Damien here. I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm gonna lean in. I need you to make a big list, all right, of benefits for taking action right now, today. Make it emotional. Don't procrastinate. Start right now, whether you're ready or not. I'm telling you, these 4 strategies are going to give you enough emotional, physical, and tactical ammo to help you conquer that task or project that you've been putting off for a long time. Yeah. But I want you to start right now, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, got to do it now. Break down the task, put pressure on yourself. Make sure, start, right? These are simple things, right? Boost your personal energy and then find the pain points and understanding why you're doing what you're doing. These
Absolutely. Are great. Absolutely. And it's going to get you fired up, get you energized. Yes. You're going to need a towel like I have in my office to brush up the sweat, because let me tell you what, Nicole, this is the fun part that I love about this whole leadership development space, being an entrepreneur, leading a business, leading groups. I love that part because I get energized by it. I get excited by it. I start sweating. And when I start sweating, then all my creative juices start to just flowing. And then all of a sudden I'm in this groove, and I make things happen when I'm in that groove. So we understand when your adrenaline raises up.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, you can do some wonderful things. So these are the things that we want to help you understand how to upscale your business. These are the things that the 1%ers do. These are not the things that the lazy people do. We're not going to give you any lazy people tasks. Okay. We're not going to give you any hobby type tasks. We're going to give you things that's going to help you upscale your business. Now, you may not need this. All right. I'm just saying, you may not need this, but you know a friend of yours that need it. You know a relative of yours that need it. You know a colleague of yours that need it, right? They've been procrastinating for a long time. They've been saying, I'm gonna, I shoulda, I woulda, I coulda, all of those things. Send them, tag them on this, invite them to look at this interview today, tomorrow, when it replays over the weekend. Make sure you share this. Go to YouTube and share this. Go to Empowered Living and share this. Go to our Facebook page and share this, because you know somebody that needs to upscale their business. They've been saying they want to upscale their business. They've been saying that they want to get around people, Nicole, who are operating up here. Well, we're giving it to you tonight. And guess what? We're not even going to charge you for it. I don't care what Nicole's going to try to make me put your cash up there. I'm not going to listen to her. We're not charging you for this tonight. We just adding value to them, Nicole.
Yeah, this is good stuff. These are the things that I wish I knew when I first started, because, like, as they say, you don't know what you don't know. And
Right.
going into business, the job, although the statistics says most businesses fail within 3 to 5 years, we've all heard that, right? And that failure happens for multiple reasons. And then we know there's more disparities with Black and minority business owners. We know the stats. But then what do we do to stop that? What do we do so we don't become statistics, right? And these are the things. And it's when you think about it, it's not huge things to do, right?
Right.
These are simple, just disciplined habits that you do consistently over time to get to the goals that you have. And that's what makes this stuff amazing. So again, it's just really just adding value and just the simplicity of things and thinking about where you are in your business, where you want to go, and how you can implement these strategies to not procrastinate, to make sure you start now, to know the vision that you have, to be intentional, to understand the steps that we talked about upscaling your business.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
doing the work.
Absolutely. Paul Martinelli talks about these type things all the time, right? In fact, he's doing a complimentary sales training for people right now. And what he's doing is helping people understand really how to be intentional in your business, right? Every week he's teaching something new about the sales process. But what he's telling you, what he's helping you understand is how to be intentional. In fact, go to his site. He has a training that's going to be tomorrow. If you need to get in, you don't have to even bring your wallet. He's just adding value to you, right? Helping you understand how to be intentional in your business, folks. Take these things, what we're saying, what Paul's saying, and understand how to implement them in your business.
Yeah.
That's really what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right. So, Nicole, this has been great. Now I'm actually so I need to turn my ceiling fan on. You got me excited. I'm all ready to go
there.
right?
Okay.
What's that song? It's getting hot in here.
Keep your clothes on. Keep the clothes on. Please.
I don't want to shut down the internet. Or like one president says, shut down the internets.
Yes.
So, all right. So here's the thing. What I want to do, Nicole. Now, what I want to do is, I want to share these. I want us to share these 10 things that I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur. The 10 things I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur. Now, folks, I'm telling you, you need to hit the record button on your phone. You need to get your ink pen, get your notepad, because these 10 things, folks, I'm telling you, if I'd have known these things before becoming an entrepreneur, boom, I'd be doing even better than I'm doing right now. You see, it's not about if you're doing good right now. It's what did I miss out on?
That's right.
Right. So that's what I want us to share with the audience tonight. So you want to kick it off?
Yeah, because this is all me right here. This right here. This right here is gold. The first one is, as an entrepreneur, I know you're excited, you got this idea, and you want to get it out to the people. But the idea is, number one, don't create new products, solve problems. Let me say that again. Let me lean in like my co-host Damien. Do not create new products, solve problems.
Yes.
As entrepreneurs, we are problem solvers. And there are so many problems, so many issues in the world that the market is screaming for solutions, right? 42% of products launches fail because there is no need for the product. Who are you selling to? Right? You got to understand that's 42% fail because nobody wants the product. So you got to understand that instead of trying to develop new and wonderful products, look for problems to solve, because where there's a problem, there is a need. And the more that you are a solution to the problem, the more people are going to come to you. They're going to pay for that solution. And you're just going to continue to find more problems. So don't create new products, solve problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, Nicole, I love that one, right? I just want to piggyback on that one right quick. A lot of times people say, well, I want to do something that, I know that I love and I'll do it for free. Yeah. You want to do something. I agree with you. Do something that you love, and you want to do it for free. That sounds good. But you want to do it so well that they'll pay you double for it. That's the difference right there, right? So when we think about this, and this ties right into what I'm going to share right now, forget about this overnight success stuff, right? That rarely ever happens. Forget about those things, right? Even the companies regarded as the quickest overnight successes like Amazon or Yahoo took at least 3 years to get there, right? And the majority of the companies take up to 10 years to really make it. I'm going to say that again, right? Amazon and Yahoo, you say, whoa, huge successes right now, right? Yeah, they work quick. But it took them up to 3 years to get to where they were rocking and rolling. The majority of companies, it takes up to 10 years to really get going. So that means you have to keep going. You have to say, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. Napoleon Hill says it, right? Or it may not be Napoleon Hill. He said, the easiest thing to do when failure is close at hand is to quit. It's to give up. It's to throw in the towel. It's to say, I can't do it anymore. No, it's not it right now. I can't do it yet. I'm not ready yet. But you're going to be ready. So you got to keep going after it. So if the goal is to be the next billionaire, then what you got to do is you got to be prepared for the long haul. You have to be prepared to stick with it. You have to be, like Dr. Nick said, get up early in the morning, late at night, on the weekends, on the holidays, when everybody's partying and popping fireworks out there, you grinding, you chopping, right? When everybody's out doing something else on Labor Day, you grinding, you chopping. When everybody else is at Disney and riding rides, you grinding and you chopping.
Shame.
I'm sorry. Hey, Angela and Damien, I know y'all at Disney riding the rides.
but it's so true, so true. You know, a lot of times, you know, especially in today's society, because we have this microwave mentality that everything is supposed to be quick, everything is supposed to be fast. So we think now going into the business, because we see everybody wants to put all the great stuff on social media and how they make millions in 30 days and how they do this, and we get caught up in that. But it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? So you definitely that was great. Just forget about being an overnight success and learn that it's going to take time. And so another thing when I think about, you know, these tips is number 3 is focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses, right? Success comes from going and understanding your strengths so that you spend the majority of your time in what I like to call that sweet spot. You know your strength. Your time is focused in that area. We all have weaknesses, right? We all have things that we're not so good at, but we have things that we excel at, that it's natural, that we love to do, that we're in our strength zone. So those things that we are weak in, you can either outsource those areas or even hire someone to take care of it. When I got to this point in my business, let me tell you, it was like the load that was lifted off my shoulder. Because as an entrepreneur, you think, well, I got to do it all. I have to have that superwoman or superman cape on, and I'm doing everything. And because you have that employee mentality coming, especially those that are transitioning, that you have to have your hand in everything. But I had to realize I'm not good at everything.
Right.
So, I mean, it took me a while, but I got it. And when I got it, because I realized I was spending so much time on things, trying to figure out areas where that just wasn't my strength. And so it just, you know, it's the law of empowerment. It says that only secure leaders give their power away. So you have to find people who are strong where you're weak and be okay to let that go. And so outsourcing, hiring is going to do tremendous for up leveling and upscaling your business. So focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Nicole. And here's the thing: when I love focusing in on my strengths. So when I think of um, graphics, I need some graphics made. I go to Joanna Rincon. I let her make my graphics. Right. I don't try to do that because that's just not my area I want to be involved in. Can I probably put something together? Yes. But is it an area of strength? Is it something I enjoy? Is it something I like? No. She loves it. She does it well. Boom. I think when I want to get videos made for my company, I go to Twice Media and Tiffany Williams. Boom. In fact, just last night, I sent her a message for a new program I didn't even look at it. I'm about to tell people. I'm not going to say it. A new
I know he
program
got
that
some
I
new
got coming
programs
out.
coming up. Yeah, it's a holiday around the corner, so y'all already know.
So we've got a new live show that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be sweet. But I sent her an email last night and said, hey, I need this video made. I need this things that's made for this. So boom, they're gonna work on that. But when I think of inspiring people, motivating people, thinking big, understanding the processes, I think of Cedric LaFleur.
Yeah. Yep.
So I stick in my area of strength. I absolutely love that. The fourth thing is, Nicole, you got to get the right team of people around you.
Yes.
Right? John Maxwell says that, hey, you are the average of the 5 people that are around you. The law of environment says growth thrives in conducive environments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have the right people around you. Who is in your inner circle?
That's right.
Or do you have 1s and 2s? Or do you have 8s and 9s in your inner circle? Right? You got to look at that. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't like the 1s and 2s. It just means you can't hang with them all the time. You got to be around those 8s, 9s, and 10s, maybe some 7s. You can dip in a 6 or 2 every now and then, but you start going down that lower than that, all you're going to be is the average of those people. Right? So, see, we can't do it all on our own. We need help. The law of significance says 1 is too small a number to achieve greatness, right? But we need to make sure we get the right people to help us. Everybody can't help you. Everybody can't take your business to the next level. Everybody is not meant to. Look, Uncle Pookie, Cousin Pookie, he's a great guy. I like him. Big Mama, I love her. But she may not be the one to help you take your business to the next level. You love your mama and your daddy. You love them to death. But they may not be the ones to help you run your business. You may not go to them for business decisions because they've never run a business. They don't know how to run a business. And even if they did, their business didn't run well. So why would you go to them? All right. It doesn't mean that you don't love your parents, folks. It just means you need to go to somebody else to take you to another level. See, the best approach for failure is to fail quickly. That is the best approach to failure. But what I want to talk about is getting these right people around you, right? So 25% of startups that fail do so because they had the wrong team in place. So that means a quarter of the businesses that fail had the wrong people around them. So that means that if you had $1, every dollar you have, I'll take a quarter and it just goes in the trash. Every dollar that you have right now in your pocket, take a quarter and put it in the trash. Do you want to be operating like that on 75% capacity? No, you want to be operating on all cylinders on 100%. So take the necessary time to evaluate the team, to evaluate the people that you need, and then get them to volunteer, get them to counsel you, to mentor you. So here's the thing. Sometimes you can just get people to mentor you, to help you. I know some people who are running way, way, way ahead of me that I let them mentor me. I'll just ask them a question just to get their feedback. I went to a mentor a few weeks ago. I wanted to understand about some investments I was going to be making. And I went to someone that's running way, way, way ahead of me to get that advice.
And that, Cedric, it's such a great point that you make about having the right people, having the right team in your inner circle. And a lot of times, when you're thinking about building a business, it's a process, right? So it just doesn't necessarily have to be one person, right? You can have different people that you're looking to aspire to, that's going to pour you in but making sure they're the right people. Remember, it's the right people in around you, but in different areas. You may have someone for finance, you may have someone for business operations, you may have, as Cedric said, investments, right? So if I want to build $1 million business, I'm not going to be taking advice from a thousandaire business, right?
Right.
It's just not going to work, right? So I think that is just so powerful that a lot of times we think that we have to have that person, but it could be somebody that is just a little further ahead of you that's going to help you move to that next level, right? So that right there, that piece right there is very, 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 very powerful, to think about who you have as you're building your business. So I love that. And then you mentioned the next one that I wanted to talk about, number 5, is about failure. So a lot of times, as a business owner, let me tell you, you're going to fail. I'm just going to break it to you, right? So
let them know.
I'm just going, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to put up roses and tell you it's going to be all great all the time. You are going to fail. So number 5 is, if you're going to fail quickly, right? If you're going to fail quickly, because failure is a part of the process. Not only should you expect it, but you should plan for it, right? So it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when. So you can be able to plan for it, think ahead, look at some of the pitfalls that you may be able to go through that you can prevent when those things happen. And the best approach for failure is to fail quickly, adapt to it, try again. It may work, it may not work, but you're learning at the same time. As John Maxwell, you said, you fail forward, right? Every problem is an opportunity, right? So looking at that. So one of the worst things we can do is fail slowly. When stuff doesn't happen, we start to mope, we become a victim, and you desperately hoping that things turn around, and thinking of this pandemic is like, whoa, I can't do it. No, you need to learn quickly. What is it that I can do? How do I pivot? What's working? What do I need to do? What do I need to stop? And keep moving. So if you're going to fail quickly. That's one of the things that I really, really love about entrepreneurship, because it keeps you on your toes, right? This journey really is about the personal growth and stretching you outside your comfort zone, because you're going to fail and you're going to fail often.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So number 6 of these 10 things I wish I knew before I became an entrepreneur is I have to understand my value proposition. Now, you see, I probably could have put this as number 1. Yeah. Right? You have to understand your value proposition. See, if you don't understand your value proposition, Nicole, you're going to make it practically impossible for people to buy from you, right? Because they don't know what it is you're trying to sell. And if you don't know what it is you're trying to sell, if you can't articulate what it is you're trying to sell in a very short time period, window rather, they're not going to buy from you. If it takes you 3 hours to explain that you sell ink pens, there's a problem. Okay. Right. If it takes you 2 paragraphs to say, I sell the best black ballpoint ink pen on the planet, then there's a problem. Right. It's not that difficult, folks. You got to break it down into short sentences, because that's how people hear you. Put it as a bullet. I sell ink pens. They're black. They're rounded points. They click. They can fit in your pocket. They have a nice grip. Bullet points. That's what I do. That's what you need to say, whatever that business is, right? So now your value proposition needs to be simpler. It needs to be clear. It needs to be clean. It needs to be crisp. This is the easiest thing that you can do to help people decide that they need your service.
Yeah. I think that right there, it seems simple, but it's a difficult process. But I think if we spend, as entrepreneurs, if you spend the time to get these points and get clarity on them, your business will run a lot smoother. So once you know your value and know what you're going to do, the next thing, number 7, is you got to know your customer. And we talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm amazed. We do the boot camps and just not even the boot camps. When I speak to other business owners, at how many entrepreneurs struggle with defining who their ideal customer is, who is their niche, right? So if you take the time, if you don't know the answer to the simple question, who do you serve, it makes marketing just really impossible, because they say that if you try to sell to everybody, you sell to no one. Right. So you got to get clear, have that a tighter defined of who your target is. And that when you do that, you'll have successful marketing, which leads to more leads, which means to more conversions, which means to more money in the bank account.
Absolutely. And more money in a bank account is what everybody wants, right?
That's right.
You don't want more money in your bank account, then
why are you in business?
Exactly. But knowing your customer is extremely important. And hey, guys and gals, he's and she's, whatever, I need to make sure that you understand.
That's right.
Dr. Nick teaches this in our boot camp. And if you want her to go deep with you around this, you need to get in our boot camp. I'm going to give you a link here at the end of the show, but you need to get in here because Dr. Nick does a great job of explaining that. But let me give you number 8 before we got to get on out of here. Not every customer is right for you. See, we've all heard saying that a customer is always right. And wow, that's good. It sounds good and all that type of stuff. It's important that you understand that not every customer is your customer. See, we should not be afraid to fire customers where the hassle of dealing with them diminishes the profitability, or where the effort involved outweighs the benefits. Just like there are bad products and companies, there are also bad customers, right? We need to learn that it's okay to let them go. Just let them go. Just let them go and focus on finding the right customers for you.
I've heard it said that not all money is good money.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So let's just thinking about that. For number 9 is learn from the mistake of others, right? There are things that you don't have to repeat. And we do this a lot in our boot camp. As Cedric said, we got another boot camp coming up because we share our experiences, right? We've all had challenges. We've all made mistakes as entrepreneurs, but not a lot of people are willing to be vulnerable, to be open, to share those things, right? So in our boot camp, we are able to do that. And mistakes are great learning opportunities, but you don't have to necessarily make them all yourself to learn from them. 80% of startups fail. So study what makes them fail. And we go into depth in the boot camp about pitfalls that major entrepreneurs go through, so you don't have to fall into the same trap. So definitely learn from mistakes of others is definitely going to help you in your business.
Absolutely. And, I want to round this out with no sales, no business.
No business.
It's just that simple. No sales, no business. See, sales is like oxygen, and without it, we die. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. It's so very easy to get caught up in product design, marketing, planning, recruitment, branding, and all that type of stuff. But we need to remember that we're in business to make money. Oh, I got to say that again. We're in business to make money, and to make money, we need sales. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, Dr. Nick, right there, we can just pause that and just repeat that over and over again. In fact, when you're watching the replay, just hit replay right there over and over again, right? Remember that we're in business to make money, and we need to in order to make money, we need sales. See, businesses don't develop themselves just because they have a great idea or product or service. They do it because they have sales that helps them continue to have great products and service and all of those type things, right? Dr. Nick, this hour has gone by really fast. Yes. We're going to have to do this again. This is going to be called the Dr. Nick and Seti Show.
Oh, boy. Oh,
let Damien and Angela be guests on our show. All right? So, hey, folks, before we wrap up right quick, our next Connect and Collab is coming up Saturday, September 18th. Stay tuned for more information about that coming out real soon. Hey, if you want to get into the business boot camp, make sure you click on the link in the comments, and you can go and register for our upcoming boot camp, which is the next one starts in October. So the link is there. You can click on that. And we're also still looking for people, accepting applications for people that want to have their own TV show. You want your own live streaming on demand TV show, you can definitely do that as well. Click on the link in the comments and set up a time to talk with us about that. We're excited, Dr. Nix. Thank you very much for a great show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was fun. This was definitely fun. And Angela and Damon, that's okay. You have fun with Mickey and Minnie and all the rides.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to see you guys next time. Make sure that you understand that Black Entrepreneurs Institute is here to help business owners elevate their mindset and their money. Thank you guys, and have a good night.